Last week, you all met each other in the Purple Worm Tavern in Baldur's Gate, and you were recruited by a chap called Darren to help a mysterious old lady to solve a death curse which she was being subjected to. So the lady's name is Sindra Sylvain. And she wasn't able to tell you a great deal about the curse, but she did give you a map, and she's teleported you to Chult, where you have met a person by the name of Sam, who is already there, and also you are currently speaking to a chap called Wakanga Otamu, who reliably informs me that he's happy to be called Tam. So you are currently in Tam's house, and he has taken you into a room off of his enormous mansion, and you have all of your tokens on this particular map. So drum roll, please. Those are your tokens.
Oh my god.
I'm so pretty.
They are so good.
Ralph is a god.
Aren't they
These
amazing?
look absolutely stunning, Ralph.
Yes,
They really are.
they're very nice.
Fantastic.
Can everybody move their tokens?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Absolutely. I'm so happy with that
Ah,
token.
It's very, very cool.
get out of my way, Goblin.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Oh, I'm glad you can all move them. Well, yes. Well done, Ralph, and thank you very much. Okay. So, Tam says to you, welcome, my friends, to my little room of wonders, as I like to call it. As you know, I deal in knowledge, in information, in lost lore, potions, and scrolls. I have laid out some of my finest wares for you. I know very little about the death curse, but if you're willing to end the curse and help my dear friend here, and he takes Sildane's hand again and looks her in the eyes, my dear friend her, I will help you as best I can, and that includes selling you some of my wares at much, much less than I would usually charge. All purchases must be made in coin, gemstones, or jewellery. And on the table, you see a large, weather-worn tome alongside a smaller, thinner leather notebook. There are also 2 vials of red liquid, and the liquid inside seems to shimmer with its own light. And there's a couple of spell scrolls as well. And so he says, come, look. So it's just all laid out for you.
Beelines for the large tome.
Okay.
Red face, get off the
Whisper
table.
something in that odd language, and she's just kind of like, she doesn't touch the tome just yet, but her hand just kind of hovers over it briefly.
Okay. And Tam sees you doing this, and he says, he says, I see you are interested in the Adventurer's Journal. Yes. This journal was brought out of the jungle about 15 years ago now, I would say. It describes wizards' explorations of various places in Chult. There's not enough detail, unfortunately, to locate all these places on the map. And the author is not named in the journal, unfortunately. But he does make many mentions of a travelling companion that he calls Vaughn. And this Vaughn seems to be a shield guardian. And it seems that it has a control amulet. If you do you have a map? Does anyone, Sindra? Does anyone have a map?
I do the maps work before we left.
Yeah, they gave me one.
With 2.
Okay. Well, please give me the map, and I will mark the location where the book and the shield guardian was found. And he kind of unrolls your map, and he marks on where it was found. And I will show you that just now. Okay, so you can see where it says Vaughn. That's where it is. So he marks that on the map. It is where the book was found, and I have heard that it is also where this shield guardian still remains, apparently. I would love to have the shield guardian and the amulet for my collection. And Lady Elf, are you an elf? What is your name, my dear lady?
My name is Triss'ira.
Ah, well, Triss'ira. I am very pleased to meet you, Triss'ira, my dear, and I'm very happy that you're interested in this particular book. So yes, I would really like to have both the shield guardian and the amulet in my collection. I wonder, would you be interested in going and getting them for me? I mean, I can reward you handsomely.
The decision has already been made.
Well, that
I got the book.
that is very mysterious answer, but thank you. That's fantastic. I had just said I will reward you handsomely, and indeed I will. And he picks up another book and sort of flicks through the pages, and he says, I have this spell book. It's the leather-bound notebook that you saw earlier. He says it contains 15 spells, all at various levels, and I will happily give this to you as a reward. There are some spells in there that I think you may find very useful as you sort of go off to investigate the death curse, and it will be yours should you bring me back the shield guardian and the amulet.
Could
So-
Rogar,
Mine, thank you. Nothing, so.
he wants to know the intentions of this, what was his name again? Kanga?
Tam.
Tam, yeah.
Tam, yes.
Tam. He doesn't trust it. So
Okay.
I need to
Okay.
check, basically, but I know we're not going to say that.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah, indeed. If you would like to make an insight check then. Okay, so you're
No.
looking at you're looking at Tam, but you're really not seeing you just
He looks at his beard, probably.
yeah, he
Intricate
doesn't
beard. Yeah.
you can't
Okay.
read him. You can't read him at
No.
all.
Alright.
Okay, so he kind of looks at you and he's like, are you done examining me, young man? What do I have for the rest of you? Well, now look at this. I have these two wonderful potions here. I also have this interesting spell. This is a first level spell scroll. It's for the spell of alarm. I wrote it myself. I'm very proud of it. It allows you to set an alarm against unwanted intrusions when you are out in the world doing your thing, hopefully finding that curse.
I'll take it.
Ah, well, my good goblin, and you'd be interested in this particular scroll, would you?
Mhm.
You would? Fantastic. And he gets out a little notebook and he writes spell scroll, and then he says, and what might your name be, young sir?
Rat face.
Rat face.
Etheria mutters something darkly.
Tam's gonna kind of glance around at you all and go, right, okay.
Hammer on the ground, leans on it. Still nothing interesting.
You have some weapons. Martial weapons.
I'm afraid
Axes, hammers.
I don't
Wants us
have
to deliver
any.
you a shield guardian and the control device, even for what you've released so far, does not seem like a fair trade.
No.
Especially risking our lives.
Well, okay, if the spell book full of 15 spells is not enough for you, then I'm sure that
I cannot use that.
you don't know what spells are in there yet.
Even I cannot use that. Such things are for weak males.
Glad I'm a
Let me
Just
see the
kind of
book.
chuckle to myself.
That's a statement. Fine.
Elmer said, let me see the book, then put his hand out.
Okay, so you look through the book and there is quite a few different spells, and there are a few spells in there that would be useful to
that are clerical.
a cleric. Yes, there are a few in there.
Okay, but I've never heard of a book with cleric spells, but okay.
Yeah, there's
that's
a
my
few in
fault
there.
as a player. Sorry.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's Tam says to you. He says, I like to collect spells and I like to write them in my little books. You know, so there's 15 spells in there. There's all sorts of different ones, and you are welcome to have it. Should you help me to retrieve the guardian and the amulet?
Master Tam, you said you deal in information. Frankly, I just want to know what's the thing that's most likely going to kill us out there.
The shield guardian.
That could. That's a very good question.
Do we need to build a shield guardian?
Do we need to kill the shield guardian? No, I don't believe the shield guardian is active. I believe the amulet of control has been lost somewhere, according to the adventurer's journal. So I do not think that it is currently active.
Probably fell into a sewer.
Nobody seems to know where it is. Young Mr. Ratface, what are you doing with my scroll? You're blowing your nose with it. Oh my goodness me. Let me show you this other spell scroll. So this again is wonderful. This is magical darkness. And this is again one that I wrote. I'm very proud of this. It allows you to cast a 15-foot radius of complete darkness. It's magical darkness. A creature with dark vision cannot see. Non-magical light cannot penetrate it. It would be very useful for the warlocks among you, I would have said. So that's what that is what I have for you. If you would like to purchase any of these things.
Could Elmer tell what kind of cleric's spells were in there? Were there any enhanced healing spells or anything like that? Or could he even tell of any of the spells?
There's quite a few different cleric spells in there. There's a few of all sorts of different spells in there as well. But yeah, there are some advanced ones in there.
Alrighty. Just the question is, well, I was still thinking about that, if I could tell if there was any specific spells. But moving on.
The potions, Master Tam, what are they?
One of them is a healing potion, and the other one is a greater healing potion.
Okay, I'll take the greater healing potion then, please.
Okay, the greater healing potion is 300 gold pieces normally. However, I am willing to extend you some credit for the items that you take away today.
Free.
Not free, my dear sir. No, not free. I will happily entrust them to you until you return with the guardian and the amulet. At which point you can pay me then. I will warn you, however, that if you don't pay, I will be forced to report you to the sheriffs. I really don't want to do that, so it would not be a pleasure for me to report you to the sheriffs. However, I am willing to entrust these things to you.
Okay.
So I don't have to pay for my scroll then?
For now. When you come back to the city, that's when I will expect payment for the scroll.
If we come back.
I am sure you will. So, would anybody like my darkness spell?
Darkness?
Darkness. My darkness spell, yes.
It'll certainly be far more comfortable than this blazing light.
Take it away, my dear lady, and I hope that you will find it useful.